Have you noticed that after turning 40, your body just doesn't respond the way it used to? You gain weight faster, your energy crashes after meals, and your belt keeps getting tighter, even though you feel you haven't changed that much. It's not just aging, it's a metabolic malfunction called insulin resistance. And I didn't realize I was in deep trouble until the doctor told me I was pre-diabetic. I was blown away because I thought I was doing everything right. Today I'm going to tell you what was actually happening inside my body and reveal the 5-step vitality reset protocol that helped me reverse insulin resistance and regain control of my metabolic health. Here's the part nobody tells you. Your metabolism isn't slowing down just because you're getting older. It's slowing down because your hormones and your cells are no longer communicating properly. That breakdown is called insulin resistance, and if you don't fix it early, it quietly snowballs into weight gain, fatigue, inflammation, and eventually type 2 diabetes. The good news is this: it's reversible and usually much faster than people think. I want to be very clear about something here because honesty matters. I'm no longer pre-diabetic. My A1C is out of the danger zone and I've lost 50 pounds from my high of 280 pounds. But I'm not standing here telling you I'm done. I still have room to improve my fasting insulin and glucose control. And that's exactly why I keep doing the things that got me back on track. This isn't about perfection. It's about regaining control and staying off the one-way path towards metabolic disease. Once you reverse insulin resistance, you're no longer stuck on that path. For me, it happened gradually. Life got busier, work piled up, my stress increased, and my commute got longer. At night when I got home, I'd unwind with some wine or a couple beers just to decompress. Like a lot of people, I drifted into convenience eating and grabbing whatever was available or whenever I had time. Before I knew it, my weight shot up to 280 pounds. My energy was gone, my clothes didn't fit, my knees and back hurt, and then one day I looked in the mirror and didn't recognize myself anymore. The final blow came at my annual physical when I had my lab work done and my A1C showed I was pre-diabetic. I remember thinking, how is this possible? I'm working out, I'm lifting a couple times a week. I didn't think my diet was all that bad, but what I didn't understand was the mechanism controlling my entire metabolic engine, which was insulin. Insulin is the hormone that unlocks your cells so glucose can get energy inside. But when you're chronically stressed, sleeping poorly, and eating inconsistently, and overeating without realizing it, and losing muscle as you age, and relying on processed foods, your cells start to ignore insulin. It's like the lock becomes rusted. The key still works, just not as well. Your pancreas has to pump out more and more insulin to force energy into your cells. Over time, that resistance gets worse. That's why people over 40 often gain weight faster, even when nothing else has changed. Here's what insulin resistance often feels like in real life. You eat a meal, and within an hour or two, you feel sleepy or foggy, and you wake up tired even after a full night's sleep. You also start carrying stubborn belly fat that won't budge. You feel hungry again shortly after eating, and you crave sugar and carbs late in the day. You think you're doing the right things, but your body doesn't seem to respond. A lot of people feel something is off, but they can't quite put their finger on it. Here's why insulin resistance is dangerous even before being diagnosed with diabetes. Chronically high insulin damages blood vessels, it dries visceral fat deep around your organs, it raises triglycerides, lowers HDL cholesterol, and increases ApoB-containing particles. It also accelerates cardiovascular disease long before blood sugar looks abnormal. That's why many people suffer heart attacks or strokes without ever being diagnosed with diabetes. The damage is happening quietly, in the background, hiding in plain sight. If nothing changes, here's what usually happens. Insulin resistance progresses into prediabetes. Prediabetes progresses into type 2 diabetes. And then your doctor wants to prescribe you meds. Your energy continues to drop, your strength declines, and your independence erodes. And the longer insulin resistance is left untreated, the harder it becomes to reverse it. That's why timing matters. Here's the part that shocked me. Fixing insulin resistance doesn't just start with dieting. It starts with realigning how your body handles energy. So how do you fix this? You start by doing what I call the vitality reset protocol, and here's what that looks like. Step 1, the meal walk method. Step 1 is simple. Walk after every meal. Walking pulls glucose directly into your muscles without requiring extra insulin, so it bypasses the metabolic traffic jam. 5 to 10 minutes helps, but 20 to 30 minutes is ideal. This single habit can dramatically reduce glucose spikes. This isn't just anecdotal. Studies from medical institutions like Stanford and Johns Hopkins have shown that even light walking after meals significantly improves glucose clearance and insulin sensitivity. Step 2, build your glucose engine. You do that by strength training. Muscle is your metabolic armor. Every pound of muscle becomes a glucose sponge. More muscle means less insulin needed, less fat stored, more calories burned at rest, and better metabolic flexibility. This is well established in metabolic research. Skeletal muscle is the primary site of glucose disposal, which is why resistance training consistently improves insulin sensitivity in clinical studies. You want to lift 2 to 3 times per week and focus on big movements like squats, presses, and rows. Remember, muscle equals vitality. Step 3, clean up your energy supply. You have to clean up your nutrition. Your body was never designed for the blast of glucose from eating processed foods. Remember, anything you eat from a box or from a bag or from a drive-thru hits your system way too fast and spikes your insulin too high. You want to eat whole unprocessed foods 80% of the time, and then you can occasionally eat some junk food. So if it grew from the ground, grew on a tree, or used to be alive, it belongs on your plate. This restores metabolic rhythm. Step 4, eliminate blind eating. You have to have structure to your eating. Most people grossly underestimate their calorie intake, often by up to 60%. I know I did. When I started tracking my calories, I realized I was eating far more than my body needed, even if I was working out. Remember, you cannot outwork a bad diet, and if you're not in a calorie deficit, you will not lose weight. And if you don't lose weight, it's very hard to reverse insulin resistance. Now, don't think of tracking as a punishment. It's actually awareness and accountability. Step 5, you need to create metabolic space. Step 5 is to do some form of intermittent fasting, and if done intelligently, it's a really powerful way to help reverse insulin resistance. But you have to start slowly. I recommend a minimum of 12 hours to 14 hours, and then eventually work up to 16 hours. Remember, no snacking during your fasting window. Eat 2 to 3 meals at consistent times and finish eating 3 to 4 hours before bed. This gives insulin time to come down. Here's what I want you to remember. You are not broken, you are not too old, and it is absolutely not too late to get back on track. Your metabolism isn't fighting you, it's responding to your inputs. When you move after meals, when you build muscle, and when you eat real food and stay accountable, your metabolism will wake back up. So give the Vitality Reset protocol a try and see how your body responds. If you want to take the next step and actually see where your metabolic health stands, watch my video on the 5 blood tests every person over 40 should get. Those lab tests reveal your insulin sensitivity, your inflammation levels, your cardiovascular risk, and your true metabolic age. So start the protocol, run the tests, and take back control. I'll see you in the next video.